Good evening and welcome to the home of the Milton Black Panthers. I'm Don Castelline along with Steve Bish. And tonight an exciting matchup in high school football action. The Milton Black Panthers will play host to the Lewisburg Green Dragons in what is dubbed the Tomato Bowl. And this is of course one of those great rivalries in high school sports, Steve. Last weekend, Lewisburg had another rivalry. It was a battle for the Little Brown Jug against Mifflinburg, and it was an exciting ball game. And Milton, on the other hand, is coming in on a really big win. They're 2-0, and they're looking really strong.
Well, you have two teams. Lewisburg won a close game overtime against Mifflinburg. Milton, on the other hand, had it pretty much their way against Warrior Run, showing just a tremendous amount of strength and a lot of depth. And I think that may tell the difference tonight, Milton's depth.
Coach Ira Kieferman of Lewisburg has talked about that strength and the size advantage that Milton has, something his team is going to have to try and overcome with speed.
Well, he feels he has a definite advantage with team speed. And in talking with him before the game, Don, he indicated he'd like to try some different formations, spread Milton out a little bit, come out in a double slot, move the trips, give Milton some things to think about, keep them off balance. But Milton has a tremendous amount of size and athletic ability, and I think Lewisburg is going to have to play a near-perfect game to be in contention in this.
Now, we had some showers move through the region just a couple of hours ago. It's cleared up nicely, and we're expecting some nice weather tonight for what should be a heated rivalry between the Milton Black Panthers and Lewisburg Green Dragons. Stay tuned. We'll have the game coming up in just a few moments right here on CCN Sports.
CCN's coverage of the Harvest Festival is being brought to you by B&H Motors, Fetter's Jewelers, Route 15 Flea Market, the Watson Inn, Kurtz Kawasaki, Pam's Bakery, Mertz Meats, and Bill Marks Auto Sales.
Looking for a good quality used vehicle? We have 4x4, sport utilities, pickup trucks, vans, and sedans with options and low mileage and warranties where available. Whether your vehicle is new or used, keep it running in top performance with B&H Motors Parts and Service Departments. Our service department will be glad to help you with your warranty work as needed, and of course any general maintenance of your new and used vehicle. And if the need arises, use our body shop with over 30 years of bodywork experience. B&H Motors, family owned and operated since 1936, Route 45, west of Lewisburg.
Design your art-carved class ring. Made in your own image or make your statement elegant with our diamond collection. Choose the look that says you. Visit our design studio at Fetter's Jewelers, 65 South Front Street, Milton.
Silver Moon Furniture at the Silver Moon Business Center, Lewisburg is open 9 to 6 daily. Stop by and look over our large selection of furniture. Name brands such as Action Lane, Strata Lounger, Memphis, England, Liberty, Florida, DMI, Penns Creek Solid Oak. Apply today for your Silver Moon Preferred Charge account to receive an additional 10% off. Silver Moon Furniture, located in the Silver Moon Business Center, Route 15, Lewisburg.
For more than 100 years, the Watson Inn has been welcoming guests who appreciate fine dining and superior accommodations. Enjoy a cocktail in the lounge before you dine in our restaurant. Celebrate your big event in one of 4 outstanding banquet rooms ranging from formal to contemporary and serving up to 180 people. Overnight accommodations are available in both guest rooms and efficiencies, and we offer the best off-premise catering in the valley. Experience great service and old-fashioned hospitality at the Watson Inn.
Have both squads heading out to the center of the field. You'll see Eric Snyder, number 2 for the Milton Black Panthers, Brandon Cram, number 11 for Lewisburg,
Gentlemen,
and a host of others.
I'm Bob Gimbel, I'm the referee. Ron Kennedy's the umpire.
Good luck, fellas.
Gentlemen, you represent your teams, and as such, we expect you and your teammates to be under control at all times. You're here to have a lot of fun playing. We're here to officiate. If you have any questions, feel free to ask any of the officials. We're here to help you. If there's a penalty, make sure you line up facing your coach so he doesn't have to scream at you. I'll keep it simple so that we don't want you to make any errors. Okay, you're the home team, you're the visitor, that's the head, that's the tail. I'm going to throw it and catch it. You're going to call it while it's in the air. He'll verify that. If I miss it, we'll redo it.
Heads is called.
It's a head. You've won the toss. Okay. They've won the toss. They're going to receive. Okay, turn around there. White won the toss. They're going to receive away from the board. Gentlemen, shake hands. Okay.
There you had the coin toss. Referee tonight is Bob Gimble. And we'll introduce you to the other umpires in a few moments. But the good news so far for Lewisburg, at least they've won the toss. Yeah. So starting off on the right foot.
That's right. And, you know, again, I think I look for Lewisburg to try to get some sort of sustained drive. I look for them to open it up, but the best defense they're going to have tonight is to hang onto the ball and keep that Milton offense from grinding it out against them. So be interesting to see early on what Coach Ira Keeperman tries to do offensively to gain plus yardage against this big Milton defense.
Just moments away from the kickoff here at Alumni Field, and one of the things we're going to talk about a bit tonight, Steve, is it seems like a lot of times with high school teams, and particularly in football, things seem to come in peaks and valleys, and it's just a natural progression that teams go through. Danville, an area team that we've covered, which has had a substantial peak and perhaps coming back down a bit. These things just go in cycles, and we might be witnessing a program in Milton that's reaching the crest. A few seasons ago, they were 1-9, but now they're playing excellent football under head coach Max Schneider. And Lewisburg's had some great teams and has lost some key talent, and we'll see how they respond this season. Perhaps coming into a bit of a valley, but of course it's early in the season to make too big of a judgment.
Well, absolutely. Lewisburg has had a great run, just some tremendous athletes right across their athletic program. You know, they've graduated some outstanding athletes. Milton, as you said, Don, is really headed up, and in this football team, they have a lot of experience.
Austin Kerstetter set to kick things off, and we are underway at the Tomato Bowl in 2000. And this one's going to make it into the end zone. And Lewisburg will start things off on their 20-yard line. We'll introduce you to the starting lineup for the Lewisburg Green Dragons as they take the field on offense. Your offensive line at left tackle, it's David Knights. Guard Josh Shaddison. He has been struggling with a hip and quad injury a bit, but he's in there tonight. Robert Geiger, your other guard. Right tackle, Cody McKibben. And your center is Randy Knoll. The rest of the offensive starters coming up. But right now, quarterback Dustin Hoffman under center. Straight handoff. And nothing doing. There's the big line we've been talking about. Not a whole lot for David Ross. And he is one of those two running backs. You'll also see Brandon Cram in the backfield. Halfback of Dejon Smith. Your other starters, tight end Joel Bentner. And your split end is Eric Wetzel. A little bit of a contrast in terms of running backs for the Lewisburg Green Dragons. They each bring a little something different to the table. Two of your power backs, Adam Navarro and Brandon Cram. David Ross, a little bit more of a speed back, so we'll see how they utilize them tonight.
Lewisburg out in a double slot, trying to spread the field a little bit.
Little swing pass for Cram, and Cram is making a little bit of room for himself. It's going to be a pickup of maybe a couple. Good move to shake the first defender, but a nice open field tackle that time by the Black Panthers.
That's actually going to go for about a 2-yard loss.
It'll be 3rd down and 13. That's one of the...
Lewisburg coming out in the first set, really came out with a little motion, but essentially handed the ball off in a power I. That time came out with double slots, trying to spread the field, threw a little swing pass to number 11, Brandon Cram, but Milton really heads up in that, had to defend very well.
Junior quarterback Dustin Hoffman trying to make something happen on 3rd and 13. Back to throw, does not have a lot of time, and he's going down. And it is we'll see if it's a safety or if it's on the 1. They're going to say he's wrapped up on the 2-yard line.
Well, number 8, Dustin Hoffman, really not having a chance there, and just incredible pressure at Milton's front. And Lewisburg very lucky not to have a safety in that play, so they're going to be punting it from their own 3 on 4th and forever.
Brandon Cram, a senior leader on this team, back to do the punting, gets it away. Line drive kick takes a favorable bounce, but it's taken on the fly, and Milton's going to have great field position close to the 20. And heading out of bounds, Eric Snyder with the return. Good look there at Snyder. He is a senior. 5'9", 135 pounds, has got some great speed.
Well, Milton playing this game of field position. They're on their Lewisburg 21-yard line. Just excellent field position to start off 1st and 10. I'm sure this is not the way Coach Ira Keeperman wanted to start this game.
Yeah, maybe they would have changed their choice on the coin toss had they to do it over again. Milton taking over. We'll introduce you to their starters in a moment. Handoff. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
Number 26.
That's Jimmy Highstand.
Jimmy Highstand that carries a flag down, and that's in the area there may be holding on that play.
Indeed, it is holding.
Captain, you got a holding. You want it from the spot right here. You want to go back 10 yards? Okay. Holding that way. Holding offense. 10 yards. Still first down.
10-yard penalty.
It's
Introducing you to the officials for tonight's ball game. That is Bob Gimbel.
Umpire for tonight is Ron Kennedy. The linesman is Bob Lynn. Lines judge is George Taylor. And the back judge is Joe Claybon.
So make it first down and 20.
Milton coming out in their wishbone. Nothing fancy.
Ty Ulrich, your quarterback. Power football. That's what they do, right? Back to throw, a little mixing it up, and it's open. Touchdown, Milton. Little razzle-dazzle that time. Ty Ulrich doing a good job of disguising that play, and wide open. Will Perry, the split end.
Well, Ty Ulrich came out with a little play action. Just an unbelievable fake. Had the ball on his hip, and Lewisburg defensive end didn't know he had the ball, and Will Perry running we call a post pattern on the backside, just got behind the secondary, and Ulrich just laid it in there perfectly. 30-yard touchdown pass.
Kick attempt by Austin Kerstetter for the extra point. It is up, and it is good. And the ball careening into the what will be the future gymnasium here at Milton High School. So Milton off to a great start in the 2000 Tomato Bowl. It's 7-0. We got 9:24 left to go in the first quarter. We'll be back. Don't go away. You're listening to CCN Sports.
Make a wish.
TV Guide says Cover Me is one of the most original and engaging series of the year.
We could get sucked into this entire investigation.
Then suck us out.
A uniquely entertaining hybrid of family and crime drama.
I want to be who we are.
And who is that this week?
Do yourself a favor. Discover Cover Me.
When we get home, you're taking a urine test.
New night.
You've got to call the Bureau.
New time.
They think we're a regular family.
New shows.
Get the car.
You can't make me.
Cover Me. Wednesday nights at 9, 8 Central on USA.
The fun and excitement of Las Vegas. The glamour and sparkle of gorgeous gemstone jewelry. Tune in as the Value Vision Network celebrates Chuck Clemency's 8th anniversary with Vegas Live. Shop from home for specially designed jewelry exclusive to our live broadcast from the Bally's Hotel in Las Vegas. Join us September 22nd through the 24th for Vegas Live, only on the Value Vision Network.
Wasting no time, getting off to a solid start here tonight at the Tomato Bowl. The Milton Black Panthers lead this one 7-0. 9:24 left to go in the first quarter. Thanks so much for joining us here on CCN Sports.
Well, Don, very uncharacteristic. Milton coming out in that wishbone, but a little play action. Boy, Lewisburg just intent on stopping that run. Just kind of got sucked up, and senior quarterback Ty Ulrich with a perfect pass, and Milton in 2 plays on the board.
Pretty decent field position as Kerstetter pops it across the middle, and Adam Navarro returning it. 2, looks like they'll spot it around the 32-yard line. It's a little better field position this time for the Green Dragons as they'll take over with their second series. We'll introduce you to those Milton offensive starters on their next series. That's what happens when they score a little too fast for me. I can't quite keep up.
Well, we were just kind of getting settled in our seats, Don, and
we're settled now.
Boom, less than 3 minutes gone in a game, and they're on the board.
And they rolled up some points a week ago, 55-7 winners over Warrior Run. This is a team that knows how to put the points up, and they know how to stack it up the middle as well. And they wrap up Adam Navarro, and he may have lost one on that.
Well, no, Navarro got that ball, and I mean, just had no chance at all. Right now, the battle of the trenches is definitely on Milton's side. Lewisburg just not being able to control that line of scrimmage on offense.
Lewisburg again heads to the line. They've abandoned their wing tee, which they utilized in the first 2 games of the season, but just wasn't effective enough, according to their coach, Ira Keeperman. In motion is Navarro. It's going to be Hoffman with the pitch to Cram, and Cram's got a little bit of room. And expect to see Hoffman utilize that speed a bit. Keeperman, the coach, definitely likes the way his quarterback runs. The only problem has been in the first 2 ball games, he really hasn't found himself in the open field with a chance to utilize that speed, although in week number 1 he did rush the ball several times for about 22 yards, but they certainly want to see him run in the open field a little bit more.
Well, nice concept there by Lewisburg. A little motion, spread the field, run a little option, try to get Cram some room to operate. And
3rd and 6,
nice
Navarro going the opposite
gain.
way. The same play, just the opposite side, and this time he is taken down at the line of scrimmage. That time we had Navarro in motion the opposite way. Hoffman elected to hang on to it, and it's going to be 4th down and either a long 6 or perhaps a short 7. Yeah, we'll call it 4th and 6.
Milton making a nice adjustment to that and really making Hoffman turn it upfield. And you know, from a defensive standpoint, you like to see that quarterback with the ball. I mean, they're not used to carrying the ball, and if you can get them to turn up, you're generally going to be further ahead.
Penalty flags down. We'll sort this one out as Brandon Cram out to do the kicking honors, and always have to keep a close eye because Hoffman, the quarterback, is lined up there between Cram and the offensive line. We'll see what the penalty flag's all about.
It's going to be illegal participation, I believe. They had a player coming on the field late.
I believe that was Dejon Smith who was slipping in there at the end. Well, any trickery that may have happened a moment ago probably will not be the case here, as it is now 4th and 11.
Fourth and 11, and Brandon Cram punting. Milton again going to end up with pretty good field position here.
Line drive bounces on the 40. It's taken cleanly at the 33. And some room almost to midfield, and Eric Snyder nearly broke it.
I want to tell you, number 64, Robert Geiger, made a fantastic play. He doesn't make that play, Don. That might have been 6 points. And in talking with Coach Ira Keeperman, I asked him, I said, any surprise this year? And he singled out Robert Geiger, said a junior lineman has really shown a lot of versatility, and said he's been a very pleasant surprise. So early on, a big play for the Green Dragons.
Coming up, we'll have that starting lineup for your Milton Black Panthers. Hand up straight up the middle. Into the open field and down inside the 30-yard line. Carrying the ball, Jason Jarrett. Here is your lineup for the Milton Black Panthers. Tight end is Brady Snyder. Coming across the line, Bob Benyon, Bo Furman, Jeremy Lennig, your center, Zach Armstrong and Brandon Rote on the right side of the line. Position players, split end Will Perry. He's already had a touchdown tonight. Fullback Tom Snyder. Your backs, Jarrett and Heistand. Ty Ulrich is the quarterback. So we've got that business taken care of. Across the line of scrimmage and plunging ahead to the 25. It's Jason Jarrett.
Oh, nice gain there by Jarrett. And Don, if memory serves me right, last year Jason had about 232 yards rushing against this team. He is a very gifted runner, as are a lot of others, but he's quick and he's deceptively strong.
Lewisburg typically in a 5-3 defense, and you'll see them kind of cheat down a bit, especially with a team such as Milton, which runs this wishbone formation as they're doing right now. Right up the middle, and there is some daylight. Snyder that time. Tom Snyder, the big fullback, 250 pounds. He is quite a load to take down for those Lewisburg linebackers, but one of the things you'll see them trying to do is really stack the linebackers in tight on the line with the hopes of, if not winning the war on the line, to at least try and hold their ground.
Well, the other thing that's dangerous, Lewisburg's defense in that series, Don, if you look, all 11 players are within 4 yards of the ball. and sooner or later it's going to be a play-action pass.
Straight up the middle, lots of daylight. This one's going to be a touchdown. Nearly untouched. Tom Snyder, the second Milton score. Again, doing it from the wishbone formation. That is a formation you'll watch them run about 85–90% of the time. Every once in a while mixing things up, but right now it's pretty much power football.
And they ran that back into the short side of the field, which means Lewisburg is shifting to play the field side, obviously working or defending that option. And Tommy Snyder, as soon as you break the line of scrimmage, you're one-on-one with a defensive back, and quite frankly, that's no matchup.
Now with the extra point attempt, it's Austin Kerstetter. The junior puts it up, and it is good. Off the scaffolding of what will be Milton High School Gymnasium. So with 5:28 left to go in the first quarter, great start for the Milton Black Panthers. They lead at 14-0. Don't go away.
Suppose you steal a rock. You hide it, they catch you, and now that you're back on the street and you want it back, guess where it is?
Is this really a police station?
Of course.
Pizza delivery for robbery, homicide. There's two kinds of people who get through that door. People wearing handcuffs, people wearing a badge. You're the new lead detective. Me?
Martin Lawrence.
I'm an officer of the law.
Blue Streak.
In the outback country where life is hard and only the strongest survive, gets a man on a mission going crocodile fishing, diving in to save their scaly hides. Started off as a lad by his dear old dad, danger's still a family affair. Crocodile hunter! Come and join us as he wrestles those toothy devils, throwing caution to the wind. Hold your breath and wonder if he saves the little buggers, or if they make an appetizer out of him. Crocodile hunter!
Watch The Crocodile Hunter, Sunday at 9, only on Animal Planet.
Set to kick off with his team staked to a 14-0 lead. It's Austin Kerstetter, and his foot getting a workout tonight, already putting up 2 extra points and a couple of kickoffs. 14-0, Black Panthers leading the Lewisburg Green Dragons, and they're going to have to try and make something happen on special teams, but losing the ball.
Number 20, Dewan Smith. He breaks contain and...
Well, made a little something out of nothing, but not quite to the 20. They'll be starting over on the 18, and Steve, it has been all field position, all Milton so far. They've already started things off deep into Lewisburg territory. Second drive starting around the 50, but so far Lewisburg not really getting beyond the 30-yard line, their own 30-yard line to start things off.
No, so far one thing I'm noticing, Don, and I just a casual observation, what we may have perceived as a difference in team speed really does not seem to be materializing on the field.
Well, and while Milton certainly has a size advantage, they are quick, sometimes deceptively quick, and sometimes just flat out good burners too. Good hands that time.
Excellent catch by number 2, David Ross.
He also a senior on this team. Good look at Ross heading back into the huddle. Probably should mention a couple of people that will not be on the field tonight. Jose Blanchard, he has been suspended for the Green Dragons, and a little altercation last week with Mifflinburg, situation in which there was some fisticuffs, and he will not be there tonight, and really a big loss for them. He is one of the running backs, a good athlete, and also a great safety, a good cover safety, and they're not going to have his services tonight. Similar situation for the Black Panthers with Andrew Rentz being out of the ballgame as well. Up the middle, it's Brandon Cram pushing the pile maybe for about a yard. Ball sitting on the 25.
You know, you have to say that Lewisburg's offensive scheme, I think, Don, is a very smart one. I think what they're trying to do makes a lot of sense. The difference right now is just man for man across the front, they're getting beat. But I think they're giving Milton a lot to think about, but give Milton defense a lot of credit. They're reacting very well to the ball. 3rd
down and 4, and Lewisburg desperately needs a first down. They've got to mount a drive, try and stay in this ball game. In motion, David Ross, he's the burner. It comes in the backfield, and he's got to outrun. He's got the first down. Good job of keeping his feet that time, able to avoid, I believe it was a diving Tom Snyder trying to pull him down, but Good job that time, David Ross, using that speed, and I think that's one of the things that Coach Ira Keeperman's going to try and look at doing. And that's you know, getting into a little bit more spread type offense and putting men in motion.
Well, right there,
Ross.
You're right. That's just a case where David Ross simply outran to contain. Milton was in pretty good position there, but Ross simply outran the defense. Nice pickup there. Nice 6-yard gain gives Lewisburg their first down.
Hoffman rolling, looking downfield. He's going to tuck it away, and maybe a pickup of 1, depending on the spot.
That's going to be right about the line of scrimmage. Ross coming out in hot pursuit, number 55, Bob Benyon. But when Ross turned back, Milton had great pursuit angles, and really, Justin Ross just had nowhere to go. Excuse me, Dustin Hoffman had nowhere to go.
2nd down, and we'll call it 10, although maybe about a half a yard was picked up on that play. Brandon Cram, the lone back. Again, coming in motion, it's David Ross. And they look his way once again, nearly picked off, but Ross has got it, and he's got a big gainer. It's a 1st down, and Lewisburg, for the first time, has cracked into Milton territory. And we've got a Black Panther down on the field, I believe. It is Cody McKibben, getting up a little bit slow, but he's up and moving.
Now, number 70 is Jeremy Lennick, Milton's center. Jeremy looks like he's already maybe got the wind knocked out of him. Great swing pass there to David Ross, and number 12, Stuart Sumner for Milton, who had Ross locked up man-to-man and went for the interception, and it looked like he might have a shot, but didn't get a hand on it, and Ross able to take it for a nice 20-yard gain.
Okay, who's been moving my stat sheets? Number 70, Cody McKibben, is playing for the guys in white. We got it sorted out now, but they don't have it sorted out on the field yet.
Well, Stuart Sumner last week, I believe Stuart had 2 interceptions against Warrior Run. Stuart's a great athlete, a very good defensive back, and really a ball hawk. And it's a case where he thought he could intercept that, took a chance, and Lewisburg came out on top in that play.
We've got 2:42 left to go in the first quarter, and when I said that Lewisburg cracked into Milton territory, if you take a look at Milton as they're in their huddle, if you take a look at the football, it's about half of it is sitting over the 50-yard line, so they have just barely cracked into the Milton side of things. But this is a big moment for them because they've actually now sustained 2 first downs, first semblance of a drive. It's important that they try and keep this momentum moving now.
And this is what Coach Ira Keeperman was talking about. You're trying to get a matchup that's in your favor, and that little swing pass, David Ross is very quick, and in 2 plays has been able to get outside of Milton contain and have nice gains.
And they like this run and shoot type formation with a single back and spreading things out, double slots this time. In motion, coming across, it is Dejon Smith. Hoffman rolling it out, and he does not get back to the line of scrimmage.
It's going to be a dead ball foul. Lewisburg was in motion. That's going to come back 5 yards.
Now this perhaps could be, depending on how much preparation has been done as we get the call here from tonight's ref.
White, illegal procedure, 5 yards, repeat the down.
We mentioned earlier in this telecast, the wing tee was pretty much the bread and butter for the Lewisburg offense coming into this matchup. They've switched things up a little bit. They really felt they weren't, that's an offense that moves laterally a lot, and the blocking wasn't there, so they've shifted a little bit more into this run and shoot power I formation.
Coach Keeperman basically felt he was trying to put a square peg in a round hole with that offense, and felt
trips to the near side, but this time trying to outrun the Milton D. It's not going to work. David Ross just running into a sea of black.
Well, that was just an end around, and I tell you, number 55, Bob Benyon, number 2, Eric Snyder, excellent read defensively. Boy, everybody stayed at home, and Ross had nowhere to go with that. Going to be about a 3-yard, 4-yard loss.
You mentioned the importance of staying home, and one of the things that's difficult to discipline a team to do perhaps is staying in your lane and covering your spot on the field. You so desperately want to run to the football, but with a situation like that, a little misdirection, it's important to kind of stay at home.
And reverses try to take advantage of a defensive aggressiveness.
Downfield, a little bit too high that time for Eric Wetzel. Good coverage by the Black Panthers, and we have got now a very long third down opportunity, 3rd and 18 with 1:51 left to go, first quarter.
Well, believe it or not, that is the first incomplete pass Lewisburg's thrown.
Steve Bish all over the stats. Good job. Up on the 42-yard line. Hoffman giving instructions to his team.
This is where you want to really be careful, not do something stupid and give up the ball.
Again, it's Smith in motion, back to throw, and a little bit too far out, the outstretched arms of Brandon Cram. And Cram's been nursing an ankle injury just a bit. He is an exceptional athlete in more sports than just football, but he's been a great presence on this football team. He plays a great linebacker, also doing a nice job out of the backfield, but a little bit hobbled by this ankle injury, and he's also the kicker, so he doesn't get too much of a break, Steve, and we get a good look at him there.
It just looked like he couldn't quite accelerate, but you're right, Brandon Cram is a tremendous athlete, very talented young man, and
good kick.
It just appears he may not be 100%.
This time it looks like Milton's going to have to work a little bit harder on offense, as they'll only be starting from their 25-yard line.
Excellent coverage by number 50, Josh Sadison, down and just making Eric Snyder turn it inside, not able to go for that corner. So good job on special teams by the Green Dragons, good kick by Cram, and good coverage.
And that's one of those situations where you don't have to have the high booming kicks in high school football. With that, the bounce, when you get a good high bounce like that, it gives a little bit more time for your coverage to come down. You know, the returner's got to wait for that bounce to slowly get his way, and good job of covering that time, Lewisburg. First down and 10, 1:37 to go, first quarter, 14-zip. Black Panthers on top. We've got a lot of open space. It's a foot race down the sidelines and across midfield. The speedster, Eric Snyder. Big pickup for the senior.
Boy, a nice 30-yard gain, just a little misdirection play there. And was that Snyder that carried that? Number
Eric
2?
Snyder, yes.
Okay, I couldn't see the numbers on the far sideline, but little misdirection. I mean, Snyder was in the secondary before Lewisburg knew where the ball was.
First and 10 from the 45. Again, in the wishbone formation. In the backfield, good penetration by Lewisburg. Cram runs him down. Ty Mitchell trying to get some daylight, but the first man back, I believe it was Adam Navarro putting a little bit of pressure back there, but Brandon Cram coming to finish things off. Number 11 doing some good job closing in and bringing down
boy, excellent
Ty Mitchell.
Excellent coverage on the corner there, as you said, with Navarro and Cram coming in. And you know, that's where speed will show up, that pursuit and that ability to stop the outside play. Milton having a lot of success up the middle. Be interesting to see if they come back with that. 2nd and 17.
Back to throw, Ulrich. He looks downfield, he does have a man. And it's caught. It'll be a Milton touchdown. Oh, how they love their football here in Milton, especially when a team is 2-0 and en route to taking an early commanding lead in the Tomato Bowl. You know, with the catch, William Perry.
Once again, that was just that simple bootleg, and Lewisburg actually had some pressure on Ulrich, and you know, I can't tell you how good a play that was from Ty Ulrich, where he was rolling to his left, really didn't have a lot of time to set his feet, but got his shoulders square, threw the ball about 40 yards downfield, and the other side, Will Perry made a great adjustment to the ball, and great catch.
Those are the toughest ones, what's coming straight over your shoulder. As you mentioned, a great adjustment, and that extra point also good. So 21-0. We still have 37 seconds left to go in the first quarter. A little bit of the wind taken out of the sails of the Lewisburg Green Dragons. We'll see if they get that wind back. Don't go away. Tuned into CCN Sports.
Homework Help on PCN is a live 2-hour interactive call-in program for students in grades 1 through 12. State-certified teachers will work through math and science questions with students.
5x times 3 gives you 15x. And Jesse, what do you get if you add the 2x and the 15x together?
17x.
That's exactly what you want.
Homework Help on PCN airs throughout the school year on Sundays beginning September.
Just don't tell your dad. Let him think we're still going to Hawaii. How's he going to find out?
Sometimes what you don't know.
He wants to take us to Hong Kong.
I've made the ultimate sacrifice here. 1 first-class ticket cashed in for 3 economy. I'll get all my business done, and then we can just kick back and have a good time. It'll be unreal.
Can hurt you.
Where are you taking us?
The Thais take drug smuggling very seriously.
So you're like a lawyer?
I'm not like a lawyer, sweetheart. I am a lawyer.
Broke down palace.
Just when the Lewisburg Green Dragons thought they were starting to get some momentum, the big momentum buster, Ty Ulrich, finding the deep ball to William Perry. And this Milton offense is just clicking on all cylinders, and Ty Ulrich is a great athlete as we have the kickoff now to see what Lewisburg can do with their 4th possession. Coming across the 15 and wrapped up right there. Good open field tackle. Now, Steve, I asked Ira Keeperman, Lewisburg's head coach, about special teams, and he had some concerns there. A lot of the concerns he mentioned were stopping the return of Milton because they're fast and they're big, but getting things started with his own return has not been a whole lot easier.
On that kick, a great hustle play by number 66, Zach Armstrong, offensive lineman. And boy, is that impressive, see an offensive lineman get down the field that quick and make that tackle.
A little different formation now for Lewisburg. 3 in the backfield, and Hoffman trying to roll out and get a little bit of daylight, and I think maybe back to the line of scrimmage, but that's probably about it.
Great pursuit there. Again, team pursuit by Milton. The tackle made by number 90, Tom Snyder. Tommy Snyder, great fullback, but also an excellent linebacker.
Good look at that Milton defense. They are big, and they are dominating tonight, 21-0.
Impressive thing about this defense as the first quarter ends, the impressive thing is they're seeing some formations they haven't seen, and they're making very good adjustments to it.
Well, we'll see if those adjustments continue. We'll be back with second quarter action from Alumni Field in Milton. Keep it tuned to CCN Sports.
Our biggest and toughest ATVs are bigger and tougher than ever this year. A new and improved torque converter design smooths out power delivery over a wider operating range, proving best what Kawasaki is known for, rugged dependability. More horses have been added for quicker acceleration, as has a carburetor heater for smooth operation when the weather gets cold and nasty. Kawasaki's Prairie ATVs, conceived, built, and now fine-tuned for enthusiasts just like you. Come visit us at Kurtz Kawasaki, 3 miles east of Allenwood.
Pam's Bakery has the best homemade cookies around. A full-line eat-in bakery offering pies, pastries, cookies, donuts, bread rolls, and bagels. Visit each day for specials from sticky buns to shoe-fly pie. Sit and enjoy a cup of Maxwell House coffee and try one of our specialty syrups. Pam specializes in beautifully decorated wedding cakes with fountains and stairways to brighten that special day. Pam's Bakery and Coffee Shop now at 2 locations, 54 Broadway Milton and Route 15 Allenwood.
For the freshest meats in all of Northumberland County, there's no other place but Mertz Meats. Our meat is processed here on site. Sausage is stuffed. Pork chops are smoked in our own smokehouse. Beef is cut, wrapped, and frozen in quarters and halves. Delicious meats start here first. Mertz Meats, Route 147 in Northumberland. The freshest meat in all of Northumberland County.
Billmark's Auto Sales, located on Route 15 just north of Lewisburg, has a great selection of quality, late model, low mileage, and pre-owned vehicles. All exceed Billmark's high quality before they're sold. Stop by and browse the lot. You'll find the prices clearly marked on the windshield. On-the-spot financing is available for qualified buyers, and most vehicles come with a 3-month, 3,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty. At Bill Marks, count on superior service before and after the sale. Bill Marks Auto Sales, down-to-earth deals, down-to-earth prices from down-to-earth people.
We're back with the start of the second quarter.
Don, you can see the Lewisburg Green Dragons coming back, and boy, as a coach and as players, you're just trying to find something in your playbook to get some sustained offense. Lewisburg's had a couple of nice plays they've been able to do with the pass, but just nothing they've been able to really sustain.
Trouble is, it's hard to get a little creative when you're on your own 18-yard line.
Oh, there's a hook and ladder. That's a fumble. Oh, that was close. That was set up.
Eric Wetzel had it, I thought.
Well, it's the old hook and ladder, and what they were doing is a little hook to Wetzel, and number 2, David Ross, was coming around, and Wetzel was going to pitch that to him, but he never got the handle on the ball. Brings up a 3rd and 9.
It's a famous play, used one time, I think, by the Chargers in the NFL back in the Dan Fouts era, the hook and ladder. Not as successful for Lewisburg. Back to throw. Hoffman looking downfield, and he gets rid of that one. He was running out of territory. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Wisely threw that out of bounds. There just nothing was there. When you get in a situation like this, especially with the kind of pressure that Hoffman's facing, you've got to go to your quick outs, back out of the backfield, maybe a little slant or a hitch pattern, we call it, 2 or 3 step pattern, just turn around. That's probably going to be the success of Lewisburg's offense. Then you might be able to loosen up a defense and run the ball.
4th down and 9, Cram back to kick. He gets off a pretty good kick, but it's taken cleanly. Setting up for a big return for Milton. See if they break it open. There's some room. He's got one man to beat, just the kicker. Running out of room and out on the sidelines. William Perry showing that speed, and all he had was Brandon Cram to get by. But Cram, being the good tackler that he is, especially for a punter.
Will Perry has very good speed, and Cram played that extremely well. Just kept Perry on his shoulder, used that sideline to his advantage, would not let Perry come back inside. A touchdown saving play by Brandon Cram.
1st down and 10, deep in Green Dragons territory. The big wishbone formation. Straight up the middle. Power football. Second effort, good for probably a couple of yards. Roger Ball on the carry.
Again, Milton showing its depth at running back. Roger Ball coming in. Roger's a 5'7", 165-pound junior, and there are a lot of kids in this Milton football team that can run the football.
Both of these rosters pretty sizable. They dress 48 players here at Milton, and it's considerably higher than the 1-9 season they had a couple of years ago, in which they dressed in the upper 20s or so. So recruitment definitely doing a little bit better here at Milton High School.
Ball and a carry again for a gain of about, call it 5 yards, bringing up a 3rd and about 3. Milton having their second backfield inner, number 17 Chase Phillips, now in a quarterback.
Ball spotted right on the
33 10. Robert Morey, and number 7 Ty Mitchell rounding out the backfield.
Ball spotted on the 10-yard line. Handoff up the middle, nothing doing there. Lewisburg doing a good job of stacking things up inside amongst the tacklers. Adam Navarro.
Robert Morey on the carry, nothing there. It's actually probably lost a yard. Going to bring up a 4th and about 4, and Milton's going to set up for a field goal.
Moments ago I told you Milton dresses about 48 players. Lewisburg's actually up in the 60s. I think they have one of the largest rosters in the area in terms of high school football. And Coach Ira Keeperman says he believes in allowing everyone to participate.
Well,
you don't have to be the best athlete in the school. If you want to play, he feels there's a spot for you on his team.
This ball's going to be spotted about the 16-yard line by Stuart Sumner. Austin Kerstetter up, and it's good. Excellent kick. 26-yard field goal by number 22, Austin Kerstetter. 9:40 left in the half. Milton goes up by a score of 24-0.
So the leg getting a good workout there for Austin Kerstetter. And he'll have some more work. He'll have the kickoff coming up. Lewisburg will get it back. 28-0. Milton Black Panther, rather 24-0. Milton Black Panthers in control.
Look at your day from a fresh perspective. Watch First Outlook. Get everything you need to be prepared before you head out the door from the experts at the Weather Channel. First Outlook with Cheryl Lemke and Rick Griffin, weekday mornings from 5 to 7 Eastern.
Welcome back to CCN Sports. Don Castelline and Steve Bish with you as it's Tomato Bowl, right now controlled by the Milton Black Panthers. They lead this one 24-0, and Steve, you and I are getting a enjoyment out of watching the leg here of Austin Kerstetter. He's been booming some extra points.
Well, just as we say that, it kicks one out of bounds. But
well,
Austin Kerstetter really, I think, is going to be a force on this team. When you have a kid that has the kind of leg he has and has shown a lot of accuracy, boy, does that give you a lot of options as a coach in a game. And early in the season, Austin Kerstetter has been very impressive kicking the ball.
They haven't had to resort to this yet, but with the type of leg he has, you almost would feel is pretty comfortable putting him out there for a 40-yard field goal, which in high school athletics is not a typical thing.
I don't know what Austin's range is, but I would say 35 to 40 yards is probably realistic for him.
I'm sure in a practice type mode, probably can hit from 45. That, of course, just speculation. 9:40 left to go in the first half, 24-0. Lewisburg trying to get things started here from the 35. Ball spot on the 35. Anytime the kickoff goes out of bounds, straight plunge up the middle. Pickup of just a couple.
Number 2, and I tell you, we can't even pick out a person up front, but that defensive line has just not given an inch.
It's a swarming defense.
They have really controlled the line of scrimmage. They've been in great pursuit, and Lewisburg just getting yards very grudgingly up the middle.
And it's not really that Milton stacks the line too tremendously, but they've just got some great personnel up there. Some big bodies and guys that can move. Hoffman back to throw, and look at the pursuit coming down the field, throwing it away. Was intending to try and get it to Joel Bettner, but a couple of feet over his head, but fortunately falling incomplete.
Well, that play, Hoffman, I have to apologize. Dustin Hoffman rolling to his left and trying to throw with pressure, and points out the fact that's a very difficult play for a quarterback, and the ball fell in between receivers, which points to the pass that Ty Ulrich threw, which was just incredible. Same kind of scenario, and Ulrich was able to get the ball about 40 yards downfield.
3rd down and 9. Hoffman back to throw. Nearly a lateral. They're going to say incomplete forward pass. Trying to get it to David Ross once again. 4th down and 9. Obvious kicking situation once again for Brandon Cram.
Well, Lewisburg going back to what's gained them some plus yardage, that little swing pass out of the backfield where you try to get the ball to some speed to David Ross, and that time Hoffman just unable to connect.
Brandon Cram set to kick. 2 men deep, Eric Snyder.
Oh, it's a short snap.
Hoffman looking for the pitch. He pitches it back, no one's there. And Milton's got great position. They'll have it on the 32.
It was a short snap, and kind of an innovative play. Hoffman running around the right side with Cram as a trailer, and they were running an option off that, and Hoffman attempted to pitch it back, and there was a fumble on the play, so it's worth a try. What have you got to lose? You're down 24 to nothing. I think that's a play worth trying to get a big play out of that. But Milton taking over with excellent field position.
The Lewisburg Green Dragons digging in, trying to make a stand. Wishbone formation right up the middle. Nope, it's going to be held for the option. And it's wide open running room. Down to the 10, to the 5, touchdown Milton. Running the option perfectly, Ty Ulrich showing that athleticism.
Let's check that. That was number 17, Chase Phillips. That was the backup quarterback. And I want to tell you, that's a sophomore backup that ran that option to perfection, pitched that thing at the precise moment to number 26, Jim Highstand. And I tell you, Jimmy Highstand can move and just literally outran the secondary, but just incredible execution there by a backup quarterback, number 17, Chase Phillips. He made the play go.
Good check on that. Sophomore taking over the controls, doing a wonderful job. Big play, 30 to nothing, and here comes the extra point attempt with 8:38 left to go in the first half. It is up, and it too is good. All Milton Black Panthers in the Tomato Bowl. Lewisburg Green Dragons are reeling. We'll be back with more second quarter action right after this.
He was a cop in Los Angeles. Now he's a sheriff in Arizona.
Where are their legs? That's what we'd like to know. No, you cannot put your dead bodies in my beer box.
And the only thing harder than keeping the peace in this desert town...
Where was I?
About to put some pants on? ...is keeping track of the weirdness.
Butt naked, down on all fours, barking like a dog.
And the weirdest thing? He just might stay.
Hey, you be somebody today! Make me!
Manhattan AZ. Sundays, 9:30 p.m., 8:30 Central.
We stand between the candle and the stars.
The line has been drawn against the darkness.
It has begun. Great war, but great hope of peace.
A story this big should only be shown widescreen. For the first time anywhere, Babylon 5, widescreen. Premieres September 25th at 7 on Sci-Fi.
Well, Don, there we see number 22, Austin Kerstetter. Boy, this kid's getting a workout tonight.
He certainly is. He's booming extra points. He's kicking a field goal. He's getting more kickoffs than...
He's had a career night for a lot of kickers, but doing an excellent job. Boy, as a coach, you love to see kicker getting this kind of work in.
And he gets off another pretty good one. Bounces on the 10, and it is picked up. Good little move that time by Ross, and he creates a little bit of running room up across the 25.
David Ross doing an excellent job breaking through that first wave and picking up some very valuable yardage and giving Lewisburg decent field position to start out. They're going to take over about their own 27.
Well, this is gut check time for the Lewisburg Green Dragons. This is a moment where you start to think, talk about things like pride and hanging your head high, giving it all you've got, even though the scoreboard reflects the fact it's 31 to nothing, and we're just midway into the second quarter.
Well, there you can see Coach Todd Tilford in the offensive huddle. I believe that's Todd, talking to his troops. And you're right, it is gut check time, and it's tough. I mean, anybody that's ever played this game, you've been on this end of a game where, you know, you just have not been able to put anything together. But as a coach, you want to keep your kids focused. You want to do everything you can to keep some continuity and not let them get down. They're right now, things are not going their way, but they've had some little successes, so they're out there, and I'll give them credit. They're hustling, and not easy being on this end of a 31-0 score, but this is a great rivalry, and these kids live 5 miles apart, and you know they're not going to give up.
Just charting Lewisburg's journey to this game. They're 1-1 right now. First game, a 40-0 loss to Line Mountain. Last week, more exciting. a double overtime win over Mifflinburg. I believe 12-6 was the final of that ball game. So they've really not gotten the offense moving too much. 12 points in their first 2 games, and yet in tonight's goose egg so far, they're working on it. Smith in motion. Hoffman with the pitch. Good hands that time. Ross hanging on to it, and it's going to be good positive yardage, and it looks like it's going to be a first down.
Lewisburg executing the option, and number 8, Dustin Hoffman, really doing a nice job making the defense commit to him. And once he got that commitment, pitch back to David Ross, and Ross able to pick up good yardage, brings the ball all the way out to the 40-yard line, a pickup of about 13 yards.
I think this is one of those moments Coach Ira Kieperman is experimenting a little bit. They've run some different formations. We've seen a lot of different looks from Lewisburg thus far. I think he's trying to come up with the right combination that's going to give him the most success. So far, the option's done fairly well. Here it is again. That time a little dangerous, but Hoffman's able to get it to his back, and Ross making a little something out of nothing. Good pickup of about 6, but right now Hoffman is still down in the backfield, and he is hurt.
Well, he kept that ball, I mean, I want to say to the last moment, actually past the last moment, made a dangerous pitch, but Ross made a nice adjustment to the ball, picking up about, call it 6 yards, but quarterback Dustin Hoffman down, hopefully just got the wind knocked out of him. We hope it's nothing serious.
That's what it looked like. You don't like to speculate on these things too much. We'll keep it here for just a moment with 8:09 left to go in the first half, 31-0, and Lewisburg Green Dragons starting to utilize that option more and more, and you think that's something they're going to hang on to? It seems like that seems to be the formation they're coming back to and having the most success with.
If you want to utilize your speed, and they definitely have some speed in David Ross, you've got to get him out wide. There you can see Coach Ira Kieperman with Dustin Hoffman, and I'm thinking he just got the wind knocked out of him. It's kind of how he's reacting, and I don't mean to say that's not a tough injury, because we mentioned before.
If you've ever had the wind knocked out,
it is one of the most uncomfortable situations you can be in, and you feel horrible. You cannot catch your breath, and the only way you can do is just kind of rest, relax, and let everything get settled down.
Sure.
But you know, I think Lewisburg's offensive scheme tonight, Don, has been a smart one. I really do. They've tried to take advantage of what they have, tried to take advantage of what Milton will give them, and when they've executed, they've been able to make some plus yardage here. I think what they have to find now is some consistency in doing that.
Getting the cobweb shaken loose there a bit. Hoffman looking to get back to his feet, and moments ago you saw the crowd in attendance tonight. Anytime you talk about the Tomato Bowl, as is typical with football contests in central Pennsylvania, you talk about close to a full house, and it seems like the Milton sideline rather happy, and Lewisburg's fans, of course, always still rooting on for their
there you can see
team.
Dustin Hoffman walking off the field pretty much under his own power, and I think, as you said, he may have had the wind knocked out or had his bell rung a little bit, but such is the life of a quarterback. And he'll be back in, and we're glad it's nothing serious.
Brandon Cram taking the play from the sideline, bringing it into the huddle. We'll see exactly what they do in terms of a quarterback. Looks as though Brandon Cram, he's going to go ahead and line up as a quarterback.
Well, I look for the option again, or just a run. Boy, you got a running back like that, put it under your arm and keep it.
Good straight handoff, and it's going to be first down yardage for Adam Navarro. Navarro, one of 2 power backs for the Lewisburg Green Dragons, like to run them out of the power I formation. Both Navarro and Brandon Cram, more of your pounding type of backs. David Ross gives you that alternate look of a little bit more speed from the backfield.
Well, Navarro bringing that out for a nice 5-yard gain over the 50 into Lewisburg territory. And nice power run there. Really the first burst in the middle we've seen all night.
Brandon Cram, again, over center. Goes back to throw. He's got a man, and it's complete inside the 30 to the 27. Eric Wetzel with the completion. Brandon Cram, you know, it's one of the nice things about having a senior leader on your team, not really stirred by any of the events that are happening on the field. He's been through these types of battles before, just goes out there and does his job.
Well, that was that was an excellent pass. I mean, for a kid to come in the game like he did and throw a pass like that, that's exceptional. I mean, that ball was right on the money. Nice 19-yard gain, and Lewisburg with their first serious threat of the game.
1st and 29, and this handoff is deep into Milton territory, close to the 15. This time it's Adam Navarro once again, number 6, heading back into the huddle, and you can see the step lightening just a bit for the Green Dragons. Feeling a little bit more confident, hoping to finally get that 0 off the scoreboard. 31-0, still our score. Milton Black Panthers leading this one with 6:59 to go in the first half.
Lewisburg, excellent offensive series. That's their 3rd first down in a row. And I mean, right now, all of a sudden, man, they're just moving the ball right down the field.
Once again, Cram up the middle. This time, maybe a yard. We'll see on the spot. Adam Navarro getting a pretty good workout on this drive.
Well, Navarro met there by a host of Milton defensive linemen.
Ball being spotted on the 15.
We'll call it a yard. He deserves a yard on that for that effort. Ball's on the 15-yard line.
Anytime you get tackled by at least four of these Black Panthers up front, you deserve the benefit of the spot.
Well, make no mistake, Lewisburg, some fine athletes in their own right, and it's certainly not for lack of effort, but on this series, the offensive line for Lewisburg doing a much better job.
Nice throw once again. This time it goes to David Ross. And Brandon Cram looking real comfortable. I'm not sure how many reps he takes in practice from the quarterback position, but Steve, it's got to be quite a few, because he stepped in and done a very admirable job.
Brandon Cram doing more than an admirable job. He's doing an excellent job. And his kids come in, and the poise he's showing, not only the poise, but he's put the ball right on the money every time he's thrown it. He's going to bring up 3rd and call it a long 2, and the ball's about on the 8-yard line.
Near side spread out, it's Eric Wetzel. 3 in the backfield. Cram rolls out. He puts his head down and plunges forward. Maybe a pickup of 2. He got down around the 7. We'll see on the spot. It's going to be 4th down and 2.
Actually,
maybe 3.
Well, actually lost a yard. That's hard to believe. Looked like he gained maybe a yard, but let's call it 4th and 3.
Knee must have come down a little sooner with a bit of a slide on the end. Hard to see diving into that pile, but when you got big black jerseys like that around you.
Well, big play for Lewisburg, and boy, this would be certainly a big lift with a little over 4 minutes left in the half if they could get on the scoreboard. Out in a power I formation.
This is crucial for Lewisburg here in the first half, and nothing doing. Milton stacks them up, and they will take over on their 10-yard line.
Wow, that was just buckle them up, Don. Here we come, and at least on that encounter, Milton coming out on top. So Milton defense really stiffening when it had to, holding on 4th down, and they're going to take over on their own 9-yard line.
4:35 left to go here in the first half at Alumni Field. Don Castelline, Steve Bish with you. Thanks so much for making CCN Sports a part of your day. Special mention to our camera people, Colleen Ernst and Sam Hallman, and also Nathan Baylor directing tonight's ball game. Not actually directing the ball game, but directing our presentation of it, I should say.
Just a straight handoff to number 90. I think that was 90, Tommy Snyder. Nice gain. Boy, just a straight dive. Call it 7 yards, 2nd and 3.
Milton continuing to pound the ball. Lining up once again in the wishbone formation. One wide out, far side of the field. Handoff straight up the middle, and that is close to 1st down yardage. I believe he's going to be about a half yard short. That time plunging ahead, Tom Snyder.
Ty Ulrich back in the game.
Important for Lewisburg to try and come up with a stop here. Trying to give their defense a bit of a break and also try and keep the ball on Milton's side of the field as long as they can. Trying to score here before we come up on the half.
It's going to be a 1st down on the 20-yard line.
So, spot just enough to get that 1st down. Had to get to about the 19.5 and the ball just shy of the 20. first down and 10. Right up the middle, only a pickup of maybe a yard.
Tom Snyder again, and boy, what a valuable weapon when you have a fullback that size with that kind of athletic ability to just be able to pound him inside. As a linebacker in defense, you've got to have your eyes fixed on number 90. You just cannot let him get a step on you. And about the time you overplay him, then one of those halfbacks is going to burn you. But just a huge weapon.
Pickup of 3 on that one. Second down and 7. This time the option being run. Way downfield, and now it's in the hands of the burner. Eric Snyder doing the damage, but not often you see a quarterback such as Ty Ulrich hang on to the ball 15 yards down the field and then wait to do the pitch. Typically out of the wishbone or out of the option formation like that, the pitch tends to come towards the line of scrimmage, but that time Ulrich doing a great job hanging on to it as long as he could and then making the pitch.
Well, Don, what that is, that's a senior quarterback, and I mentioned that last week. Ty Ulrich, if you've watched him over the years, Ty's an outstanding athlete, but what he's added to his athleticism now is poise and experience. And, you know, that's a player, a younger quarterback. You don't want to see him do that. You get that far downfield, as a coach, you're saying, put the ball away and turn upfield, get what you can. But Ty having the presence to really play off that defense, knowing that Eric Snyder was right there. I mean, the relationship, the hip pocket relationship was perfect. Just flipped the thing back, and they were able to gain another 10, 15 yards in that. There you see Coach Max Snyder with his team.
And giving specific instructions to Ty Ulrich, and he's very complimentary not only of the athleticism that Ulrich displays on a weekly basis and continually in practice, but also his leadership. He loves the fact that his quarterback knows the appropriate times to get into a huddle and to say the right things, to get in a teammate's face if they need to in order to get the attention and to get the focus where it's supposed to be. He says he's an excellent team leader, and that's certainly a quality you want in a quarterback. Handoff, a little sloppy. We'll see if Lewisburg's able to pounce on this one.
That's a fumble. I think Lewisburg may have gotten that. Oh, my.
Milton's going to hang on, though.
That was amazing. I don't believe Milton got that, but
suddenly when the ball is bouncing your way, it's bouncing your way, and for Lewisburg, it's not. 2:12 left to go in the first half. Second down and 10 for the Black Panthers. They lead this one 31-0.
Well, so far, that's about the only mistake Milton's made in the whole game.
And from even that, they've recovered. Trying to get some pressure up on the line to stop this wishbone formation. A little misdirection. It's going to go for looks like first down yardage.
A little counter on that. Number 7, Ty Mitchell running the ball. Going to pick up first down. That's about 10 yards. Again, I didn't catch the number, but the offensive tackle, and it may have to catch him when he goes up the line of scrimmage. I think it was number 56, Brandon Rote. Did an outstanding job blocking, just basically tying up the defensive end, and Mitchell able to run off of that.
Ball spotted on the 35-yard line, first and 10. Here comes the pitch. Pick up a 5, 10, and heading to the end zone, to the 10, to the 5, and tackled at the 4. Cram finally bringing him down. What a great pickup. Highstand with the carry that time. Goes for 31 yards.
Well, as we mentioned, there are so many backs in this Milton team that not only have speed, but really run the football well, set up their cuts. Jim Highstand's an outstanding athlete, and I mean, he not only had speed, but he made some exceptional cuts there for a nice 31-yard scamper.
1:11 left to go, and bouncing off the pile and looking for some more room. Highstand's trying to find the holes. That time stacked up for close to no gain. Ball spotted, we'll say the 3-yard line, second down.
Followed about maybe a 2-yard gain there. It's going to be second and goal on the 3. 45 seconds left in the half.
Lewisburg trying to come up with a big goal line stand here heading into the half. Right up the middle and plowing his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Milton. Tommy Snyder lowering his head and pushing the pile forward, and he's got himself a touchdown. Sheer domination by the Milton Black Panthers, and that's something they've done already in 2 weeks already. They had a stiff opponent in week number 1 against Shamokin, handled them though 35-14, and then last week all over Warrior Run 55-7. Milton definitely proving to be one of the top class teams here in the region. 30 seconds left on the clock, and once again another extra point attempt is boomed on through. So Austin Kerstetter continues to get a workout. And our score, it's 38-0, 30 seconds left to go. We'll be back with the completion of the first half right here on CCN Sports.
Thursday nights on the Superstation. It's movies for guys who like movies. Movies the way guys like them. I'm dropping the hammer. It's a guy thing.
Woo! Chicks and jets and boats and cars, and I can't wait. It's going to be great.
Movies for guys who like movies. Every Thursday night on the Superstation.
Welcome back to Alumni Field. 38-0, the Milton Black Panthers controlling the 2000 Tomato Bowl. Lewisburg not getting the warmest welcome from the Black Panthers this evening. And this one is going to be blown dead.
There's an infraction at the line of scrimmage.
Perhaps an offsides.
Procedure. Back him up 5 yards and we'll do it over again. 30 seconds left in the half, and Milton's sitting on a 38-0 lead, which means unless Lewisburg runs this back for a kickoff, second half will be under the mercy rule, Don, which means the clock will just continue to run.
That's right. And we talked a little bit earlier on in this ball game. Coach Ira Keeperman said that it was no secret Milton was going to come out and try and knock their socks off. And I'd say you could probably say they have done that, but they've also knocked off about every other article of clothing that Lewisburg's had on to this point.
But in all fairness to Lewisburg, Milton's done it to previous two opponents.
Yeah, we just mentioned Shamokin, certainly no slouch when it comes to football, and they fell by 3 touchdowns. And last week, Warrior Run found out just how good this Milton team is. And Lewisburg, at times they've put together couple of good sustained drives. They've had at least 3 drives which have utilized 3 to 4 first downs and gotten themselves close to the red zone. It's just been a matter of getting over the hump and getting that big play deep into Milton territory, as Milton's been able to do so successfully all night. So it's a matter of a few plays. This could be a little bit different score-wise. I'm not saying it would be the opposite way, but Lewisburg has played well at times.
Lewisburg has played well at times, and they've shown the ability to move the ball at times, but just 11 on 11, they're just overmatched, and sometimes you get in that situation, there's just not a lot you can do about it.
One of the up men getting a good field position with just 23 seconds left to go, but Milton has it on their, Lewisburg has this on their 43-yard line. Now, do you take a knee here, or do you try and come up with a little something fancy?
Well, that's a matter of philosophy. Really, if you let one fly, you have nothing to lose. But with 11 seconds and they're coming out in a power I formation, it appears that you're just going to try to run the clock out, get in the locker room, and try to regroup a little. trying to put some additional time back on the clock. It shows 11 seconds. They've put 25 seconds back on the clock, so.
Yeah, should have been in that neighborhood, and they have duly adjusted it. From the 43-yard line. Hoffman bit back in at quarterback. Good to see him back on the field running the controls. Brandon Cram did a nice job on the last drive, but Hoffman left with what we believe was having the wind knocked out of him. Completes a 10-yard pass there. Clock stopped with 18 seconds to go.
You know, Lewisburg's ability to throw the ball, in all honesty, against teams that are maybe a little less dominating than Milton, they're going to give some teams a handful because they throw the ball very well.
13 seconds to go. Ball laid up. Nearly brought in by, I believe that was Wetzel. Off the fingertips and a bit out of bounds as well. And time has run out. At least the clock shows zeros.
Well, it appears as though there may be time for one more play.
7 seconds is the word being sent up here to the press box area.
7 seconds on the clock.
So with the ball on the 46-yard line of the Black Panthers, Lewisburg will try to air it out one more time. Wetzel near side of the field. Cram in motion. Hoffman back to throw. Never having much time. This time he flips it out for Navarro, and Navarro's wrapped up close to the line of scrimmage, and that is the way our first half will end. And the Tomato Bowl being controlled by the Milton Black Panthers. They lead this one 38-0 as they head into the locker rooms. We'll be back with the halftime statistics. Don't go away. Keep it tuned to CCN Sports.
CCN's coverage of the Harvest Festival is being brought to you by Robert E. Benyon, attorney at law, Standard Journal newspapers, Spangler Motors, Blue Heron Sporting Goods, Milton Trans, Hawkins Chevrolet, Petro All-American Iron Skillet Restaurant, and Turbertville National Bank.
The law firm of Robert E. Benyon, located at 205 Broadway in Milton, handles the general practice of law, including divorce and domestic matters, wills and estates, real estate and mortgages, business formation and bankruptcy, and Social Security disability. For your consultation, call 742-9677.
Standard Journal Newspapers is dedicated to bringing your local news and sports. Our news team is prepared to provide you, our reader, with current, up-to-date news on topics that interest you. With a motivated sales staff and creative graphic artists, our newspaper is keeping up to date with the latest technology, which makes Standard Journal newspapers great to look at and great to read. The production department is well prepared to make sure your local news comes off the press on time, bringing you your local news and sports on a daily basis. The Standard Journal newspapers, 110 years of serving the community with local news.
Since 1955, Spangler Motors has provided the area with quality sales and service of Ford and Mercury vehicles. We are a family-owned dealership that has built a reputation for honesty and integrity. We offer the full line of Ford and Mercury, including cars, trucks, minivans, and sport utilities. Our philosophy is to deal fairly and honestly with you, our customer, and provide the best service possible for as long as you own your vehicle. By providing superior sales and service, we hope to remain your Ford and Mercury leader well into the next century. Spangler Motors, Route 405, Milton.
Your local sporting goods store in Milton is ready for the fall hunting season. Hit the woods in camouflage clothing, caps, face masks, and jackets. Get to your special spot with one of our tree stands from Summit, API Outdoor, and Loggy Bayou, and some of the best names in game calls like Top Call, Boyers, and Buck Gardner. Whether it's ammunition or muzzleloading accessories, from archery to decoys, we have the supplies to keep the avid hunter equipped. Right here at Blue Heron Sports Incorporated, Route 405 South in Milton.
Well, I'll tell you, Don, I'd love to see kids participating, whether it's football in the band. And we commented at halftime, Lewisburg band, which put on an exceptional show. There were 3 football players in uniform playing, a cheerleader. And boy, I tell you, that's what high school athletics is all about, just participating and enjoying the experience. Because when you get to be old men like we are, Don, you can't do it anymore.
Well, we just sit here and watch. And you can see hopping on the pile. Milton is certainly not lost any of that fire that they had closing out that first half. The hard part, the easy part, I guess, maybe was getting up on the pile. The hard part, they need to work on the dismount just a little bit. So,
well, believe it or not, there was a pro player who was out for the season in the NFL, I heard, because on a touchdown celebrated, he was a lineman running downfield, jumped to celebrate, came down and tore an ACL. So,
it seems
celebrating can be dangerous.
There's always one of those, it seems, every year, and
well,
it's a tough one to go home and tell the boss.
Kind of adding insult to injury, Milton will receive the opening kickoff as if they need another possession. Kicking for Lewisburg, number 12, Brandon Smith. We watched him before the game. I tell you, this young man has an incredibly strong leg. You saw him kicking 40-yard field goals with ease. And I know I'm talking to Coach Keeperman. He's off the soccer program and really obviously has a lot of raw talent. And I tell you, kickers in high school, I think with the growth of high school soccer, it's really helped football programs. It really has.
It has.
Deep for Milton, number 2.
Eric Snyder. He's had a couple of good returns to this point already.
And 20, well, I can't see the other number.
Onside kick to start things off. It's a possibility, and Milton's able to cover out of bounds. Thought for a moment that it looked as though Phil Donegan was going to get there.
Hey, I want to tell you, my hat's off to Lewisburg. Gutsy move, but it's like, what do you got to lose? And let's give these kids something to play for. I think that's a tremendous call. You have nothing to lose. You work in there, and I tell you, they almost got that ball. It was very well executed.
And you never know when some of these practice moments, although you're in a game situation, you never know when that's going to pay dividends down the road as well. Digging things in. Ty Ulrich hands the ball off up the middle. Plowing straight ahead. Snyder for a pickup of about 4.
Adam Navarro in on a shoelace tackle, but Tom Snyder is listed. Now listen to this, 6'3", 250, and Tom wrestled last year, I think 189 pounds. And he's a big kid at 250, but I mean, he's a very agile runner at 250.
Well, you think about some of the great Snyders that have come through various teams. I think of Sam Snyder for Lewisburg a few years back, and there've been some good ones. The ball nearly lost there, but good job of recovering that time.
That's, well, and Tommy Snyder comes from a good line of Snyders at Milton too. Some uncles that played, and just right now, as we said, Milton really blessed with a lot of good runners. I mean, kids that are quick, kids that have a lot of football savvy, a lot of interchangeable pieces in that backfield.
Back into the wishbone formation, which we see quite typically from this Milton offense, from the 45-yard line right up the middle. Nope, it's going to be a pitch back. High stand with some speed. He's into Lewisburg territory and deep into it to the 33-yard line. Jimmy Highstand.
I think there's going to be a 15-yard personal foul tacked on. One of the Lewisburg kids trailing the play, and it's just a frustration move. Came up and just took a shot at a Milton player going down, knocked him down, and again, that's frustration coming out. But Jim Highstand, wow! Give him a step, and he's really quick and good runner. There you see Milton's offensive lineup milling around and tack another 15 yards on the end of this play.
Again, showing the good quality depth that Milton has at the running back position with
10 yards and the run.
As we get the call from Bob Gimble.
Bob Gimble, former AD up at Williamsport, a long-time official. Bob has seen a lot of football games in District 4, Don.
He's been well officiated tonight by the entire team. Handoff, pushing the pile for a couple.
There, Jason Jarrett just getting behind his blockers and kind of taking what the defense gave him. He's going to be a short run, but a good run. And tell you, Milton right now, it's just power left, power right, power up the middle, option, throwing the ball twice for 2 touchdowns. Just as a defense, when you can't take anything away from the offense, it makes for a long night. Milton really dictating the pace of this game.
Again in the wishbone formation, Ty Ulrich takes the snap, handoff down to the 15-yard line. And we will have 3rd down and about 3 yards. You know,
Jason Jarrett again on the carry.
And you know, when you talk about the depth of talent, you look through, you mentioned some of the different looks, and you know, you really wouldn't know what to try and take away, because you've got you know, the power running from Snyder, also you know, the speed of Eric Snyder at the tailback position, and also high stand gives you a different look, and of course it all comes back to Ty Ulrich, the numerous things he does.
Well, Jason,
where do you start?
Jason Jarrett.
Yeah, we could go on and on for quite a while.
Ty Mitchell last week. Ty Mitchell had a couple of runs on Warrior Run that were just incredible. I mean, he just turned it on and outran their coverage. And so when you have that kind of options, you can keep fresh legs in the game also.
It's going to be a 1st down. This Milton offense just keeps on rolling. 38-0 our score, 8:19 left to go. Again, explanation on the clock. It'll be a rolling clock.
Number 7, Ty Mitchell in the game for a high stand.
The clock continues to roll when a 35-point advantage is garnered by one of the 2 teams. Wishbone formation. There's some open green out there, and it's going to be a touchdown.
Well, there's a flag. It may be a block below the waist, but there you see the speed of Ty Mitchell. I mean, I had to pitch, and there was no way Lewisburg is going to cover that, but I think it may come back. Normally you see a flag there, it's a hold or a block below the waist. Block in the back, you see. Referee Bob Gimbel. Move it back 10 yards, and we'll try it again.
So it appears as though the only thing that can stop this Milton offense is maybe the Milton offense, but they have not made a lot of mistakes so far tonight, just a couple of penalty flags, and really by and large both teams have played clean in terms of, we haven't seen a lot of yellow flags out there so far.
Both teams have executed fairly well, they really have. They haven't been a lot of mishandling of the ball, penalties, that kind of thing. It's just been a good football game.
1st down from the 15-yard line, 1st down and goal. Little plunge that time. It's going to be short of the...
Jarrett went down. I'm not sure. Somebody appeared to have gotten a hand on him. I'm not sure where that came from, but it's going to bring 2nd and about 15. They technically, Don, can get a 1st down. Looks like they have to get maybe just inside the 2.
There you saw both Snyder and Jarrett heading to the sideline.
Chase Phillips, a backup quarterback, in as a split end.
2nd and 14. Option going to be run by Ty Ulrich. He's got some room, and he's got a piece of the end zone. Ty Ulrich tiptoeing down the sideline.
And again, Milton running that option into the short side of the field. And generally, a team's going to rotate or play the wide side stronger. And I'll tell you, Milton's tackles tonight, both tackles, Bob Benyon and Brandon Rudd, have done a really good job of tying up those defensive ends and enabling Milton to get outside.
We're at 44-0, and once again in to do the kicking honors, Austin Kerstetter. Good penetration, but and the first flaw on the kicking mark, and that one
hit the upright. Looked like the timing was off of that just a little bit.
Little penetration from Lewisburg as well, but that's been the first flaw in the kicking game, and pretty much the first flaw in the entire Milton offense. So our score, it's 44-0. 6:52 left to go. 3rd quarter action. We'll be back with more of the Tomato Bowl in just a few moments. defending their home field in style for the 2000 Tomato Bowl. The Milton Black Panthers showing everyone in attendance tonight.
We have number 10, Chris North, and number 14, Phil Donegan back deep.
Navarro with it on the run, and he's got it up to about the 35. But this Milton team showing everyone in attendance just how dominating they are. They will be a force to be reckoned with here throughout the region on this entire 2000 football campaign. And
well, Don, this is obviously building for a head-on collision next Friday with the Selinsgrove Seals of Bill Scott, and I tell you, two fine football teams, and by everyone's calculations, that's probably going to be the championship game this year.
Should be a dandy.
Should be a dandy is right.
Handoff. Maybe a pickup of a yard or so. Smith with the carry.
Tom Snyder in on the tackle along with Sean Reese. Boy, I tell you, this defense has been equally as impressive as the offense. They really have. They have just not given much.
Second down and 10. Smith heading to the other side. We've got 3 wideouts. Smith in motion. Back to throw. Hoffman looking for Smith. He finds him, but instantly finding to John Smith.
Great reaction to the ball there by number 88, Marlon Smith. I mean, he was out there from his linebacker position. Read that extremely well, and I mean, showed great mobility getting out to cover on that play. So 3rd down and 15. Green Dragons moving the wrong direction, Don.
Yeah, that time DeJuan just kind of left out on his own. Not a whole lot of
Well, there's Marlon Smith
options
in that inside linebacker position. I mean, he's out 15 yards in the flats making that tackle. It's pretty impressive.
Hoffman back to throw. Not a lot of time. He's got a man, but just tipped away. Good coverage that time by the Black Panther secondary.
Pass intended for Joel Bettner, the tight end, and would have been a tough catch, but really wasn't not going to give them first down yardage anyway.
Looked like Will Perry on the coverage. So the Lewisburg Green Dragons again will be forced to kick with 4:35 and counting left to go in the 3rd quarter. A 4th down and 15 situation. Brandon Cram back to kick. He gets it off. It bounces right around the 50 and it'll go out of bounds about the 44-yard line. That's where the Milton Black Panthers will take over.
Well, an effective kick, not pretty, but kick it out of bounds. There's no return, so you eliminate that threat anyhow.
And again, Coach Keeperman for Lewisburg a little concerned about this. A lot of aspects of the Milton game, but special teams being one of them.
Well, Milton coming back now. It looks like this is their second offense. Number 17, Chase Phillips in at quarterback. Ty Mitchell.
And Chase Phillips, if you missed what happened in the first half, he just did a dynamite job of leading to one of the touchdowns, and here he's rolling out. He's got a little bit of room, pick up about 4 yards or so. Finally brought down on the sideline and on the tackle.
Great job by number 21, Kirk Fletcher. Fletcher playing off blocks, and that play looked like it was going to develop into something, and I tell you, Fletcher just shut it off. Good support from 21, Kirk Fletcher.
2nd down and 6. 44-0. Again, the score. The Milton Black Panthers in control.
Roger Ball and Robert Morey, the other 2 backs, joining Ty Mitchell.
Roger
Ball on the carry. Going to bring up a 3rd and short, Don. About a yard, it looks like. 3rd and short. You know, I have to say, when they've brought in the reserves, the execution's still been at a very impressive pace. Not really missing a lot here.
In the wishbone formation, One wide out near side of the field, but this is going to be a handoff to number 7, and Ty Mitchell trying to get a little bit of fancy footwork. Does spring for the first down.
Well, Ty always looking for that big play, cutting it outside, but you know, that's a coaching point. When he's going to come back, I can be rest assured a coach is going to say, Ty, when we need the first down, get the ball and just turn it up, north-south, get the yardage, and we'll try to break a big one later. But Mitchell doing a nice job getting that yardage. And he is a legitimate threat to take it all the way every time he touches it.
Great athlete, as you see him.
Talented running back.
Going to sit this play out.
Oh boy, number 56, Brian Durr. I mean, just all over that play.
See massive substitutions on both sides of the ball, but particularly here for Milton on offense. Shuffling lines through just a bit. Second down and 11. A little over $1.50 left to go here in the third quarter. Good look at the Lewisburg defensive line, digging into the trenches once again. From the wishbone formation.
Roger Ball, the carry.
And he spreads it out. He's got a little room. He almost turns the corner completely, and he does. Navarro trying to get the strip from behind, does get the tackle, but a good job that time. Ball, just when you thought he was going to run out of real estate to turn the corner, he's able to turn it up just a notch. And
well, Don, here's my point. We've had the starting 4, counting quarterbacks, running backs, with Eric Snyder. That includes 5. Now we have another 4 running backs. So Milton has been 9 deep in backs tonight, and we're still seeing that kind of ability to run the ball.
That is impressive. First down, right up the middle. Lots of room. It's Mitchell to the 5, to the end zone, touchdown. You said he could break it on any play. And Ty Mitchell reminding us that indeed is the case.
Well, Ty Mitchell, I mean, just a great athlete. And, you know, he is the kind of kid, as a coach, you just watch it. And I know Max Snyder and his staff would like to take credit for teaching these kids how to run, but been around the game long, and if you don't teach that kind of stuff, boy, that's God-given ability. And Ty Mitchell just with an outstanding run. Great touchdown, makes a score, 50-0. Austin Kerstetter on to kick. No, this is not Kerstetter.
And the hold is there, and this one hits the upright, and this time we get the bounce through.
That's good. I have to get the number of the kicker. I
believe is it Robert Morey?
Robert Morey, 33. Yep. Robert Morey with the kick out of Chase Phillips' hold.
So 51-0. We have 1 minute and 2 left to go in the third quarter. We'll be back with that action coming up next on CCN Sports.
Tune in to PCN's High School Football Game of the Week, Friday nights beginning in September, live on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
A weapon of mass destruction is about to fall into the wrong hands. Let's find the prize. Unless 2 guys in an ice cream truck...
You are not taking my truck!
...can keep their cool.
How far you got to go?
Come now. Chill factor.
With 1 minute and 2 to go, Milton set to kick off again. It's been a familiar sight all night. And again, that's typical when you score 51 points. And Lewisburg, they need to pick up the ball first. And now, What was once a broken play nearly turned into a big return.
Number 14, Phil Donegan, dropping a ball, but Chris North very alertly picks it up and turns what could have been a disaster into a pretty good field position for Lewisburg.
Yeah, across the 20, it looks like they will be starting things off on the 25-yard line, or call it the 24. First down and 10. Hoffman still running the controls. No, up, and you can bet the penalty flags will come flying.
What a helpless feeling when you find yourself 5 yards into the defense and you're the only guy there.
Start offense. Dead ball, false start offense. Repeat the down, 1st and 15.
That'll be on the tight end, Joel Bentner, down just a bit, but apparently he and Navarro were on the same page. I'm not sure if Navarro was just getting ready to go in motion or if he was also en route to beginning that play, but got to wait for the teammates.
Lewisburg calling a timeout, trying to get their offensive thinking and personnel together. Just wrong combination on the field.
And now it's going to be a first down and 15.
Well, Don, this is where, as a coach now, you want to just hammer into your kids, really on both teams. Let's not get sloppy. Let's not do anything stupid. You don't want to get people hurt. You want to play good, sound football. If you're Milton, you have a chance to get some of your backups in to see what these kids can do in a game situation. Lewisburg, you want to keep the self-discipline. You want to execute. You want to try to salvage what you can out of this and be ready for next week.
So we're back underway now. Clock rolling with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Navarro moving, but this pitch is going to come to the speedy Smith, and he finally runs out of room, but not before picking up. Check on the spot first.
Daewon Smith, maybe a yard, but good effort, good support coming out of the Milton secondary there, just to kind of string that out and use a sideline and not let Smith really turn the corner.
It's a frustration of covering about 35 yards of real estate and having about a yard to show from it. So that's the end of the third quarter. With your score, the Milton Black Panthers in solid control, 51-0. We'll be back with fourth quarter action from the Tomato Bowl right after this.
Once again, Milton Transportation strives in their continuing education by using the Pennsylvania Motor Truck Association Safety Laboratory, visiting area high schools, demonstrating the no zone, and hosting the Pennsylvania North Central Safe Driving Competition. Just as education is a stepping stone in our lives, so is taking those first steps towards safety. To bring the Pennsylvania Transportation Safety Laboratory to your school or organization, please call 742-8774. Milton Transportation, sharing our knowledge with our youth, tomorrow's leaders.
For a great selection of new and pre-owned cars and trucks, get to Honkin' Chevrolet Oldsmobile.
Drive in confidence behind the wheel of this automatic four-door 98 Chevy Cavalier with just 30,000 miles. Drive in style in a 98 Chevy Blazer. It even comes with an electronic compass to make sure you're heading in the right direction. Drive in comfort in this 2000 Buick LeSabre, fully loaded with power seats, air conditioning, plus a CD player. No matter how you drive, you'll find the right vehicle for you.
All at Honkin' Chevrolet Oldsmobile in Danville.
Petra All-American Iron Skillet wants you to join them for their Friday night seafood buffet with peel and eat shrimp, crab legs, and more, including our plentiful soup and salad bar, a hot food bar with real mashed potatoes and homemade baked goods. Try our carving station, which comes with each buffet, and remember, Saturday night is our prime rib buffet. All children's buffets are just $2.39. So bring the whole family to the Iron Skillet restaurant. We feature buffets every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, open 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Turbotville National Bank, your full-featured source for financial services. We provide complete loan services when you need additional finances. A wide variety of savings plans to meet all your financial goals. The benefits of the Winter 50 checking account. The power of PC and telebanking. Now you can manage your money from home with your personal computer or telephone. Plus the convenience of a drive-up ATM and night deposit box. Visit our website at ttnb.com. Your hometown bank for over 88 years. Turbotville National Bank, member FDIC.
Plenty to cheer about this season for the Milton Black Panthers, and There's a lot to be happy about when your team is on top, 51-0, especially
Don,
against a rival in Lewisburg.
Excuse me, Don. We've been talking a lot about Milton's skill kids, but we need to mention some of these people up front.
The unsung heroes.
Brady Snyder at tight end, Bob Benyon and Brandon Road at tackles, Bo Furman, Zach Armstrong at guards, Jeremy Lenig, the center. Unbelievable job tonight.
The holes are big, and a lot of contact for those running backs isn't being made until first contact until about 5 yards down the field. Airing it out just a bit, and it overthrows everyone. Hoffman trying to air it out down the side for David Ross.
At 26, Jim Highstand now on the defensive side of the ball. Excellent defensive position. Also on the defense, we've got to mention defensive end Steve Bauer starting tonight. Jeremy Lenig at tackle.
A lot of the same names.
Bo Furman, Brady Snyder, Bob Benyon, Sean Reese at the Rover, Marlon Smith, Tommy Snyder. Outstanding job up front. I mean, they have just dominated the line of scrimmage.
Dustin Hoffman trying to come up with an answer here. He rolls out. He looks downfield, and all he sees is Milton jerseys, and about every name that you mentioned was in on that sack. They are coming with all the guns loaded, and there you see some celebration as Christopher Snyder. They're
well, great pressure on the front side of the play. Hoffman had nowhere to go, turned back, and Chris Snyder pursuing from the back. I mean, Hoffman turned around, it was hello.
And Chris Snyder, 225-pound sophomore. A couple of these players are going to be around for quite a while, and I'm sure Coach Max Schneider will enjoy their services. Back to kick, giving Brandon Cram a rest. It's Dustin Hoffman. Gets off an end-over-end kick, taken cleanly at the 45-yard line to the 40, to the Lewisburg 35, and inside, to about the 33.
You know, I will say if there's a highlight or a high spot for Lewisburg, they've had to punt the ball a lot tonight, and their coverage, for the most part, has been very good.
Yeah, it really has been. There have not been too many deep returns. There was a couple of
there was one, but
good, and a lot of that was because of where they were kicking from deep in their own end, and just the way the circumstances played out.
Speaks highly of the team. I mean, when you're down and being on a special team is not always the most fun thing to do, and these kids are really hustling.
Lewisburg really packing it in on defense this time, attacking the wishbone formation, but look at the big holes, and once again breaking through for big yardage, it's Ty Mitchell. That time Lewisburg had everyone packed in, no one was spread out. Milton just coming at him with the wishbone, not really secret about it at all, but Mitchell that time just showing that the holes were big, and you mentioned the whole line, Bauer, Lenig, Snyder, and now a lot of the second team in.
Max Snyder just replaced that whole backfield, so we're
starting fresh all over again.
We've got to be 12 or 13 backs deep into this game.
And another big hole that time opened up for Joshua Anspaugh, and he slices it down inside the 10. And more backs again coming in.
Well, Maury and Roger Ball back in, but you know, what a luxury. It's not often that a high school football team has that kind of depth. And I mean, there are a lot of quality backs. Kids that can run the ball effectively.
Again, Lewisburg packing it in on D, attacking this wishbone formation. But again, the holes just too big, down to the 5 now. Milton continues to rumble along, and more backs coming in. This time Yoakum, also Anspaugh back in, and he's joined by Sandel. We've got a lot of sophomores on the field right now.
Don, think of this, there's 51 points on the board, and they've thrown 2 passes. This has been a ground...
Both of which were touchdowns.
Both of which were touchdowns, but this has been a ground-oriented attack.
I wonder what kind of a quarterback rating that would be. Use that NFL formula. Rolling outside, and just when Lewisburg thought they had him wrapped up for a loss, trying to make the tackle that time was Scott Pinchak. Got a good piece of him, slowed things down, but even then, breaking through, Milton still able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And I think Milton's just going to go for it. I don't think they're going to set up for a field goal.
Not when it's 51-0, you tend to...
Right, and you know, there really has been no attempt to run the score. It's just a matter of, you know, they've just executed.
Keep playing football, though.
They keep playing football, that's right. These kids practice as hard as anyone.
Straight up the middle, nothing doing, and Lewisburg wraps him up. And coaches, I think, a lot of times it depends on the play calling, but a lot of times there's the thought that coaches are rolling things up. Carmen DeFrancesco was a coach that was sometimes thought at Danville would roll the score up or what have you. But, you know, by and large, if the other team's playing football, you know, you gotta keep your guys active out there. Now, there's certain things that maybe wouldn't be appropriate, but at the same time,
you're not looking to throw bombs and
keeping
razzle dazzle. But the point is, you are trying to score. You are trying to stop your opponent. You are trying to develop players, and
that sends a wrong message to your, especially when you have a second string in there to pull things up, and you know.
And that's part of the game, and you know, it's the old saying, Don. Every dog has her day, and you know, everybody that's ever played or coached has been on both sides of these kind of scores.
Oh, straight on through, and the ball is loose, and it is picked up by Milton, and things are going the Black Panther way. Well, Lewisburg right now just shell-shocked. They knew it was going to be a tough road to hoe, but this is not, I think, what they expected. And you were just talking about every dog has its day, and you know, this is definitely a game of cycles. This is a sport in which things come around, and you know, Milton, again, can't reiterate enough that this was a program Max Schneider took over, and it was 1-9 in the early going. Took a while to get the system in place to get the turnout a little bit higher for more players coming out to dress up and be a part of this team. But now the numbers are up, and the system has been learned, and the talent's in place, and you know, Milton is now, again, sifted to the top. And there is a touchdown, untouched. Talk about holes being opened up.
Josh Hunsbaugh.
This line is dominating.
1-yard run.
Well, you and I will have a very difficult duty in naming our CCN Sports Players of the game. I wonder if we have 48 hats for the entire Milton roster.
A lot of kids have played just outstanding football. And you don't score this many points by accident. You have obviously a lot of talented players.
Robert Morey again to do the kicking honors. The second string kicker. And it is no good. So getting some good practice in just a bit, but again, another Milton touchdown leaves our score 57-0. 6:43 left to go in the fourth quarter. We'll be back with more action right after this.
Here we go again. There have been more changes. Once again, please take notice. Johnny Bravo, Ed, and Eddie, Powerpuff Girls, Dexter's Laboratory, Courage, The Cowardly Dog, I Am Weasel, plus all new cartoons. You with us? Cartoon Fridays. Friday at 7:30, only on Cartoon Network.
When I've got shoes with wings on, the winter's gone, the spring's on. When I've got shoes with wings on, the town is full of rhythm and the world's in rhyme.
QVC and the Fashion Footwear Association of New York present Shoes on Sale. Thousands of beautiful shoes at half price with net proceeds benefiting breast cancer research. Watch QVC live from New York Wednesday, October 4th, and just imagine what you'll save.
Welcome back to Alumni Field, and there the Milton Black Panther egging the fans on a bit, and no doubt will be in at running back pretty soon for the Black Panthers. I think everyone else has been in at running back. We've seen at least 12 to 14 faces running the football for the Black Panthers, everyone short of the mascot. The ball is going to be out of bounds, and Lewisburg will start on their 35. Our score of this 2000 Tomato Bowl, 57-0. This will be a memorable one, and for both of these teams. One, of course, it'll have a great taste in the mouth, and the other one a bit bitter.
Well, and it is the Harvest Festival time in Milton, and tomorrow morning, you know that these guys are going to be downtown, and they're going to have a big smile on their face, and they claim bragging rights in the Valley for a year anyhow.
But again, you mentioned some big teams coming up on the schedule for Milton. The celebration, I'm sure, will be somewhat tempered knowing that the battles are not over.
Well, another impressive.
Oh. And it's going to be recovered by Milton.
Oh.
The pitcher just set it off. At that time, trying to learn how to run that option effectively, quarterback Adam Wetzel.
Well, I want to tell you, one of the hardest things you could do is sit on the bench, come in with 6 minutes to go in a game, and try to run an option. Boy, that's option plays are very difficult to run, and you know that's a tough situation to come into.
So 57-0, and perhaps Milton will add to that score. Still 5:48 left to go on the clock, and we have a stoppage of play on the field. Ira Keeperman coming in to talk to his Green Dragons.
Don, I was going to mention earlier, an impressive thing, I think, is for a team like Milton that obviously has a lot of confidence, a lot of talent, and knows they have maybe the game of the season coming up next week. It's very easy to look past a team like Lewisburg that on paper they probably felt like they should beat and beat handily. But, you know, to their credit, they've come out and not only scored, but they've executed very well. They've played very disciplined football. They appear to be a very focused team, and that's been very impressive tonight.
Yeah, I think when I spoke with Max Schneider before this ball game, one of the things he said was that this is not a team they're going to look by. And I think the fact that a lot of the seniors on this team remember the darker days a couple of seasons ago when things were not so good, and they know they have to show up every week in order to play.
I remember talking to Tom Snyder when he was a freshman, and Tommy was playing varsity football as a linebacker and an end, and I tell you, there were times that he felt like he was part of the turf. And I remember saying, I said, Tom, someday you'll be a senior, and that day is now, and it really does make a difference when you have senior leadership on a high school football team. There's no substitute for that.
Second down and 9, 5:16 left to go in the ball game. Handoff straight up the middle. Big yardage down to the 15. It's going to be close to a first down. We'll see on the spot. Again, the shuffling continues in the running back core. Other positions, of course, the substitutes coming out by the droves. Good chance to get a lot of experience out there for some of these players that may not get an opportunity other weeks. Getting the valuable hands-on learning experience. And that third down, and they were short of the first down originally by about a yard. The ball was spotted on the 16, and now it's well over the first down yardage that was necessary, and it'll be 1st and 10 starting on the 14.
Down inside of 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes to go. The clock is running, and you know, Don, I know there was mixed emotions about the mercy rule when a team is down, but you know, for the good of high school football, I think it's a good rule.
I do too. Right up the middle. Lewisburg wrapping up the tackles, but still mustering about 3 or 4 yards. I believe that was Sandel with the carry. Again, in a few moments, we'll announce our CCN Sports Player of the game. Or players, I should say. Once again, handoff coming near side, and lots of big holes. Down to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown, Roger Ball. And Milton has now eclipsed the 60-point mark. It is 63-0. 3.5 minutes left to go. Once again coming in, it's Robert Morey. Snap is good. Good hold, and this one is good. So after missing the last extra point attempt, Morey able to connect on this one, and 64-0 is our score. Again, we have 3:29 left to go, and we'll be back with more of this fourth quarter right after this on CCN Sports.
Show's got creatures of every size, and every night you'll get a surprise, like wrestling dragons or lizard exercise shows. Some are sloths, but we don't like to criticize. Watch Animal Planet Safari. Hey, 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 snuggle with your mate, hang out with the wife. Weeknights at 8, come and socialize. Watch Animal Planet Safari. Hey, hey, hey.
Weeknights. Travel the globe and hang out with the locals. Discover the skill and beauty of our natural friends. Experience the wilder side of life. Watch Wild Discovery at its new time. Weeknights at 6 and 7. Only on the Discovery Channel.
3:29 to go at Alumni Field in the 2000 Tomato Bowl. And a little different look in the rosters as far as the special teams play. We've seen substitutes on all ends, not only the running backs and the offensive linemen and quarterbacks, but also the kickoffs as well. Special teams personnel being shuffled through. But Lewisburg will start things here on their 22-yard line. First down and 10.
Four. 2. Touch. Oh my goodness. Number 78, Josh Hubble, coming into the game late. That was like a blitz from the bench, Don. He came off the bench, never really got position. It just kept going when the ball was snapped. That was unbelievable.
Perfect anticipation. And Lewisburg searching for some kind of a solution to this just suffocating Milton defense. Second down and 12. 2:20 to go. Clock continues to roll. Back to throw. And is picked off. And this one back. And wrestled down at the 25. And a face mask, I believe, is going to be called. And you don't like to see those types of things, especially at this point in the ball game.
Well, it's either a face mask or a late hit.
And Max Schneider doing a good job coming over and reminding his player that retaliation is not the answer, and that's something both of these teams have learned because two players are sitting out because of retaliation from a week ago.
That way. 15 yards.
Interception that time.
20, we don't have a number on that young man.
And again, back to the retaliation. Andrew Rance for Milton. He is tight end and defensive end for Milton. He's not playing tonight because of a fisticuffs from a week ago, and neither is Jose Blanchard. Great safety and running back also for the Lewisburg Green Dragons.
And let me say one thing. Both those kids are good kids. They're great athletes, good players, and there's nobody that feels worse about that than both of them. I talked to both of them, and it's an unfortunate thing, but it's a learning experience.
Sure.
And it's just one of those things you chalk up to experience, and the next time you react differently.
You get in the heat of battle, and flags come flying as Milton content to take a knee with about a minute and a half to go. But yeah, as you mentioned, it's an unfortunate scenario.
Procedure, illegal formation, 6 men on the line. You want to take the penalty, or you want right here? You want first and 15 or second and 10?
This one to be marked off against Milton.
Well, Milton, with not having 7 men on the line of scrimmage, that's a procedure penalty. But
second down.
quarterback Chase Phillips just taking a knee to run out the clock, and you know, you don't need to rub it in. 64 points, you've made your point, and good move.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about the BCS rankings or anything like that to roll things up. And again, taking the knee, and the clock will continue to roll.
Well, Don, with a minute to go, we go to players of the game. My vote for Lewisburg, a young man that I thought did everything he could possibly do. Number 11, Brandon Cram, came in, even played quarterback.
Quarterback.
Punted the ball, had a good game, and provides a lot of leadership.
And he's really doing it on a weak ankle as well. He's been struggling with a bit of an ankle injury. He's a phenomenal athlete, but bit hampered by that ankle, but at the same time, like you mentioned, quarterback, he's been running the ball, he's played defense and punting, and he's been a couple of touchdown saving tackles as well in special teams.
He did it all, and for the Black Panthers, I'll tell you, tough to pick, but you know, early in the game when things seemed to be sputtering, we only threw 2 passes, but both to Will Perry, who got behind the secondary, made adjustments on the ball, caught the ball, and just out of nowhere put Milton up. So in a star-studded field of offensive performers, my vote goes to Will Perry.
Wonderful job, and those are our CCN Sports players of the game. Of course, Milton, you could look a lot of different ways. Ty Ulrich with a great game at quarterback, making a lot of great decisions, no mistakes, and the running backs. Where do you even start?
I could give a hat to every offensive lineman tonight. These kids played super, and the entire defense pitched a shutout.
And that is the way the 2000 Tomato Bowl will wrap up. The Milton Black Panthers, complete domination, 64-0, your final score. Again, a special thanks to our camera operators, Colleen Ernst and Sam Hallman. Also the director of tonight's telecast, Nathan Baylor, doing a wonderful job presenting the pictures and the pageantry. That is the Tomato Bowl. Thanks so much for joining us here on CCN Sports. Trust you enjoyed it. Again, your final score, 64-0. The Milton Black Panthers have knocked off the Lewisburg Green Dragons. Milton now 3-0, are in the early going on this season. Lewisburg falls to 1-2. For Steve Bish, I'm Don Castelline, thanking you for joining us right here on CCN Sports.